And I'd like to point this out. Some of y'all faves were indie. Hey you guys, and welcome to The Right Stuff with Jada. You get it right? Anyways, that was so stupid. What did I? Anyways, so before we get into today's video, guys, the weekend that I had, I'm filming this on the Saturday to edit it for the Sunday. This weekend has been so crazy busy, but I've been doing stuff. And also, y'all, book 2 air has started, so soon enough we're gonna have a yellow book here. Yay! Oh my gosh, let's put the light in yellow because we're heading into our yellow era. Woo! Anyway, so also I'm wearing my natural hair. I'm so excited about that. Today's video, and I have a little book here because I find it easier to like write down stuff. So all of these are like YouTube ideas. On today's episode, we'll be talking about the pros and cons of self-publishing. I feel like a lot of authors don't really know pros and cons. They just know that, hey, I want to write a book and, you know, these are the steps I'm going to take. And I feel like this was something so important to touch on because at some point in time, you know, we have to know what we're up against as indie authors. We have to know what rights we have, what advantage we have over such and such. So yeah, so the first order of business, we cannot ever talk about the pros and cons of something before we define it. So what is self-publishing? So when you publish a book by yourself, you're the independent publisher. For example, people who work with Penguin Random House is the publisher, right? But in our case, we're the publisher. We have full creative control over every single thing that happens and every decision that's made with the book. Okay, so we're going to start with cons so we can end on a high note. So the first con I have here to talk about is marketing and promotion. Typically when you have a publisher, they have specific people set to do this stuff for you. So they have different PR people assigned to do like giveaways, organize giveaways. They have like a graphic designer who is there to, you know, make your covers, who's there to ensure that covers are made, posts are made on time, reels are made and everything. So even if you chip in and say, hey, whatever, there's still a group of people behind it. Whereas indies, we don't really have access to that. Like if we want to know a strategy, we have to either jump on a trend, or we have to Google or even pay to do it, like pay people for graphics and all of that. The next one is distribution limitation. This basically means that we are limited to only the 2 major self-publishing platforms, which is Ingram Sparks and Kindle Direct Publishing. I use KDP because with Ingram, I find that one, you have to pay for every single thing and their customer service is really, really bad. As well as I find with Ingram is that even though you have better royalties, you don't get good service. Because for example, if I put my paperbacks on Ingram, if they don't sell, you know, I have to pay back for what isn't sold, versus Amazon, who just does it print on demand. But yeah, when you are trad published or when you have a traditional publisher, you know that you get your books in bookstores, like so Barnes and Nobles, Target, there's not much on returns. So like for example, if we're indie and say we use Amazon and say we're gonna widely distribute, if the books aren't bought, they get sent back. Stigma. This is a very big one, and it also ties into criticism. So I'm just gonna do those as one. Stigma and criticism. People think that indie authors are not real authors. People think that self-published books are not good books. And I'd like to point this out. Some of y'all faves were indie, and then their books were rejected by agents, and then they got a viral TikTok, and big time publishers picked up their books. Majority of the books I have here, all that happened to them. The books we know and love and the books we read. It's very stupid when I hear people say, oh, self-published books aren't good and blah blah blah, when the same people that y'all, it's so crazy. I saw a video on TikTok where this girl was saying, oh, you know, self-published books aren't good, and I'm like, girl, you're holding a book. She was holding Twisted Games, I think, or Twisted Love, and I'm like, Twisted Love was self-published. Did you guys not know that? From the bat, everybody's judged. Like, once you don't have a big publishing house or even like an agent behind your name, people tend to, you know, want to talk down on you and your craft. And I'm just here to say, guys, do not let that deter you from doing what you're doing. If you have a story, you tell the story that you have, because if you weren't meant to tell a story, it wouldn't have come to you, trust me. And the last con we have on this is very expensive. I have a video to talk about the whole price breakdown, but just know, if you're not willing to spend at least $1,000 or at least $600 per book, $1,000 if you're not going to do anything for yourself, $600 if you can do some things, and like, let's say $500 or $400 if, you know, you do most things yourself. And even for me, it runs me about roughly $600, $700 every single book. But I have a breakdown for that coming, but it's very, very expensive because cover designer, formatter, proof copies, author copies, giveaways, graphics, you know, PR stuff. People boost their content for it to reach potential readers. Like, all of that is something that it's very, very expensive out here. And editing, and editor is expensive, but it's necessary. So yes, those are our cons. I have them written here. My handwriting is so bad. But yeah. So now let's move on to the pros, because we're ending on a positive note. We're ending on a positive note. So right off the bat, complete control. There's no better feeling in the world than when you have complete control over your book. Meaning all creative rights, everything, you're in control. Nobody's in control for you. You decide what your cover is going to look like. You decide what you're going to write. You decide when your book is going to come out. And this also ties into another point I have, but we're not going to touch on that too much. But yes, having complete control is so great because you decide every single thing. If you want to write your book today and not publish it until next year, October, that's up to you, because you're not on anybody's deadline. You are on your deadline. And that's like one of the biggest things that I love, is that I can put up a book if anything goes wrong at any point in time, and nobody can kill me because it's my book and I'm in control. Faster time to market. This tied into complete control. You publish a book when you want to publish it. There's nobody saying, hey, I need 3 books by this time in January, February, in January, March, December, whatever. You work on your timeline. You fit the timeline that's right for you. Less risk of rejection. Okay, trust me, some agents are ruthless. And you know, that's their job, that's okay, whatever. But like, when you self-publish, nobody can tell you what to do. Like, there's not a publisher or like an agent or like a manager or an assistant looking over your head and saying, hey, it's you and your manuscript and God, if for those who believe in God, it's y'all. So therefore, nobody can come to you and say, hey, don't do this or don't do that or don't do that, unless you hire an editor, which most people who self-publish don't. Very important one, you have a direct connection to readers. Most of my readers are people that I've personally spoken to, and I really and truly love that I got that experience. Like, I thank God that I get to sit down and interact with them. Like, most trad publish, it's somebody running their account, so it's a PR person running the account. So even when you see an author repost stuff or something like that, it's not them. The readers are not connecting with them. The readers are connecting with whoever the publisher or whoever they hired. So, and trust me, readers love when they can, even if, because I've had somebody, she didn't like the first book, meaning she didn't like the trope. She was like, hey, this is so well written, I didn't like the trope. But she said to me that the mere fact that I have a connection with you and that we talk about it and, you know, love the second book because she was a beta reader, love it and whatever. And she's like, that helps so much because sometimes people don't even have to know who you are. They just want to know that you're genuine and you have a genuine aura, and they'll gravitate towards you, which is why being an indie author or like being self-published, it's something that you have to put your all into. It's something that if you're not doing this because you love it, people will know, people will see right through you. And the last one is that you keep all of your rights. As I said before, all the rights are yours. You are a publisher, every single thing. All rights are yours. So there's nobody that can come to you and say, hey, you know, I need to get this from that, or these royalties are mine. Nope. Every single thing belongs to you. Video today isn't really that long. I just really wanted to, you know, touch on pros and cons of self-publishing. I really want to touch basis on, you know, self-publishing on a whole, because there's parts of it that people don't talk about, and I feel like we need to talk about every single part if we're gonna survive this. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. I have so much more content coming. I won't be so last minute. I'm gonna film this week. I have next week's video filmed already. It's a day in the life. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Share, guys. Leave a comment. Did you like it? What do you want me to talk about? Let me know in the comments. But yes, bye guys.